everyone and welcome to Miss Estruch Biology, and in this video I've got a special shout out for all of my ex-A-level students, and that is how to take notes during lectures. So we're going to be going through some of the best strategies to do before, during and after your lectures to help you with, let's face it, what can be very long and mind-boggling lectures where you don't have the same level of interaction with a teacher that you would do at A-level. So stay tuned and I'm going to tell you some tried and tested tips. So tip number one actually links to the sponsors of this video, Uni First Tuition. This is a company that recognises just how difficult the transition from A-levels to university lectures can be. The fact that you suddenly don't have as many contact hours and you definitely don't have that same one-on-one support from a teacher, or at least 1 to 30 or 1 to 15 support from a teacher. You will often be in these large lecture halls with hundreds of students and you don't get that same level of support, and it can be really isolating at first and easy to feel lost. So Uni First Tuition offer support online via this one-to-one tuition with someone that has done the same course as you at university, which is perfect because it means that they will be able to know exactly the sorts of assignments, tests and lectures you might be having, so they can give you this really tailored, personalised support to help you with that transition. For many students, this might be their only opportunity for one-to-one support. And not only that, they offer you the first introductory lesson completely for free. And after that point, it's only £36 an hour, which compared to A-level tuition is significantly cheaper. If you want to check out their quality, then they've got lots of reviews on their page, and all you have to do is click the link in their bio to sign up and fill in an application form so they can pair you with the most appropriate tutor. And I'll also link it in the description below so you can get yourself set up with a tutor as soon as possible. Okay, and now here's B to help you get ready for university. I'm sure you'll see her tail the whole way through. So let's begin with how to prepare before you go to your lectures. Your university will probably give you access to the lecture slides, and I'm hoping they give you access in advance. If not, they will at least give you a recommended textbook and probably lesson orders or lecture orders. What I'd strongly recommend is find out if you do have access to the slides in advance, and if not, ask for them, and have a quick look through beforehand so you can get familiar with what are going to be some of the key topics, key ideas, so you have an idea before you actually go to the lecture. And also to help you with that, print a copy as well if they don't provide you a printout, or in this day and age, you've probably all got it on your tablet or a laptop that you're taking to the lectures so you can annotate as you go. So that's step number one. Get prepared in advance and have a little heads up of what is going to be coming up in that lecture. So now let's move on to within the lecture, what is the best thing to do? For me personally, I would stick to annotating slides rather than trying to write out loads and loads of notes as you go, because what I tend to find personally is if I'm doing that, I'll be too busy focusing on looking at the screen, writing down the information or what they've just said, and then I end up missing what they say next. So instead, try and really have active listening and focus on the key points that they are saying and just jot down those key ideas onto your slides. Doesn't have to be whole sentences, and in fact, it doesn't even have to be whole words. Why not create your own shorthand conventions to represent different words, different biological terms, so that you can get this information down rapidly. If you then want to write it up later, you can, but in the lecture, that's what I'd be doing. Listen for key points, jot it down in shorthand, bullet points, note form, not trying to make full sentences that necessarily read perfectly. As long as you can understand it, that is the key. You might also want to make sure that any visual aids that they're putting up, so diagrams or even links to videos, you're highlighting those, because I know if you're watching me now, you probably find videos a really helpful way to learn. So if they do have any video clips that you might be able to access later, definitely star that in your notes so that you know to go back and watch that to really help you out. My next key piece of advice is organisation is key. Now, yes, that is a general fact for me in life, but if we think about in the lectures, the sorts of things to help you organise could be while you're annotating your slides. So you might have the slides and then the notes section. Have subheadings, what the title is of that slide, what the key concept of that slide is. Have your highlighters maybe just to highlight the key information if it is a text heavy slide they've given you already as well. And as ever, bullet pointing all the key information. So making sure you've got that level of organisation so at a glance when you review these notes from the lessons, you can clearly see the key topics, key ideas all highlighted and picked out. Now, linked to this idea, some of you might have heard of Cornell note-taking, which might be something that you want to have a go at instead of annotating slides if they don't give you slides. And this is where you split your page into the main body of the page, which is where you have your running notes as you hear them. Then you have one of the margins of the page as your key concepts. So that is where you can then just do any key terms, key definitions that come up throughout the session. And then the bottom third of the page would be after you've made those notes, read through your running ideas that you've heard, your key terms that you've highlighted, and then you just do a bullet point summary of the key concepts from that page of notes. So for some people, they like Cornell note taking, and that's something you could give a go. Now that actually leads me into the final part of how to really get to grips with note taking at university, and that is what to do after your lecture. So you might want to take these annotated slides and convert it into a set of notes that's going to make more sense to you in the long run when maybe you've forgotten the lecture in all the details that you've just seen. So you might want to turn your annotated slides into notes using that Cornell note-taking method. Or if you prefer just to do notes as you go or diagrams, labeling those, then make sure you do that as soon after the lecture as possible while it is all fresh in your mind. An advantage here is if you are using a tablet or a laptop as you go, then you've probably done this live in the lesson, and it's going to be just a matter of dragging and dropping things to be presented how you might like as a mind map, or even just bulking out something that you've already typed in the lecture and just adding to it. So if you do have a device, it might be something that you want to get into the habit of using. It's not necessary, and I know not everyone will have a device, so doing this all on paper works absolutely fine as well. It's all about trialing different things and seeing what works for you in terms of being able to pay attention in the lecture and remember the content after it. So there you have it. Those are my top tips of what to do before, during and after. And if you need even more support, then checking out Uni First Tuition, which I've linked below to help you really come to grips with the concepts that you are learning in your lectures to make sure you can ace those assessments and your exams. But for now, best of luck with your studies, and I hope that you still stick around because there might be the odd university video that does keep dropping in to help you out.